I'm on the bench, elbows up, weight is down here. Since gravity is the acting force and there's no cable, gravity is the resistance. The distance between my elbow and gravity is at that point of the dumbbell now. So it's at its greatest load here, and it's at its least amount of load falling straight through the joint here. That's an opposite resistance profile. That's why you can't do much weight on a kickback. That's why you'll go from using like 30s on one thing to like doing like 5s on this, because there's such a dramatic drop off in your strength profile at that end range. So that's a lot of information, but that's very valuable information, because this, if you're in a gym where you have options, this is a reason you may want to choose this over the dumbbell. There's a complete, they're named the same. They're both called a tricep kickback. It's a completely different exercise. So legitimately, it's not even fair to call them the same thing. Let's go into round 2. That was a long break, but I think that was important to go over because the whole reason we're here is to teach you stuff, to give you the knowledge to make these decisions. Okay, round 2, minute started. I'm gonna keep the same weight. It was about right. I'm in this lunge position. Arm is here, elbows back, tightening my tricep. This is such a better feel on this cable machine compared to the dumbbell. If you don't have anything to support your hand with, you can just do it from this lunge. So I can be pretty equally effective just doing this. Why would you not want to do this? You can. There's nothing innately wrong with this, but this stance does help you maintain your static position compared to being here. But there's nothing innately wrong with this if you can support yourself. We're gonna switch. Round 2, left arm. Lunge position. Let's go through the 4-step rep. I'm gonna tighten my tricep before I move. I'm gonna squeeze my tricep through the range. So I'm gonna squeeze at the end of the range, step 3, and then I'm gonna fight this cable all the way back. Pause here. Tighten first. "17 seconds. Keep that engagement. That is time. Let's fight it all the way back in that eccentric. Round 3, right side. Staggered stance, ball of my back foot. I'm gonna try to do half the exercise this way and then half the other way, just to show you the demonstration. I've slowed it down a little bit because I'm feeling a lot more isolation in my tricep. Switching my position to show you the other thing you can do here. Feet are hip width, back is arched, trunk is leaned forward in the same line of the cable. The weight is light enough to where I can maintain a decent position here. Holy Moses, it doesn't feel like though. Whew, round 3, left arm, lunge, no support. I'm showing you 3 different ways you can do this. If you see me changing my position, it's strategic just to show you different options. I want you to pay attention to your back. You don't want to have your hips sagging down. You want to be arched in your back. You want to keep your core tight, making sure that everything's relatively neutral as far as your spinal posture goes. I'll go more into all of that in my core course, which I'm really excited about doing, the abs and core class that I'm going to do. Sheesh. 10 seconds. Holy crap, this arm freaking died. Now the support does help a little bit. Round 4. 1 minute. I'll go here. Feet, hip width, trunk is forward, ass is back, back is arched. If I were loaded a ton, I would be in the other position. I don't honestly think anybody can do this loaded a ton just due to the resistance profile, because this resistance profile is better than the dumbbell, but they're both really effing hard. And you have to actively keep your elbow in position, which at this point, my triceps so freaking tired that it's hard for me to tell where I'm at. But I'm trying my best to stay static. 14 seconds, sheesh. It's the longest minute in history. Ooh, this is not gonna finish that. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I can't drop anymore because I'm on the first, it doesn't drop any lower than this. So I'm switching. Really dialed in here on the engagement, making my tricep fight every inch that it lengthens. And I'm pausing here and tightening every inch that it shortens. This position definitely does help me anchor. How in the world do I have 7 seconds left? Toast. Switch arms. Right side, round 5. Stabilizing here. So, you know, if we were doing dumbbells and we're using that bench, my opposite hand works the exact same way it would be on that bench. Because if I were using this thing, my hand would be on the bench. So I'm doing the same thing with the cable machine that I was doing with the dumbbell. It's just oriented different. Oh, it is dying. That's 20 freaking seconds. Although we know that the time under tension window is between 40 and 90 seconds, so I'm still in range. I'm just gonna squeeze this isometric. I'm trying my best to move, but I can't. I'm not gonna lose form. Okay, that's a good teaching moment. So you're gonna get a lot more from literally doing what I did, and that's squeezing. I was squeezing as hard as I could. I wasn't moving, but my tricep was still engaged. That is so much more beneficial than getting tired and doing this. So I'm not taking the easy way out. By me staying here stagnant, it looks to you probably as if I'm not doing anything, because you don't see any motion. But internally, I'm squeezing my tricep as hard as I can. That contraction is called an isometric. And the definition of that is when a muscle is shortening but there's no visible movement in the limb. And that is a type of muscle contraction. There's a lot of benefit there. Okay, let's go round 5, left arm, lunge. I'm trying to get my elbow a little bit higher on this one. You can choose different starting positions of your elbow. The key is whatever position you choose, you want to try to maintain. It's hard when you can't see yourself, but just do your best. I'll show you from here. Holy crap, I'll tell you what this does. I keep doing this, but this helps so much more. Now I just can't even move my arm. 10 seconds. It feels like a bunch of emotional swings on this thing today. Holy crap. Rest. So that was cable tricep kickbacks. Different exercise than with the dumbbell. Same motion, completely opposite resistance profile. You can also do this with bands. I could take a band and I could tie it here. So if you don't have a cable machine, here's what you do. Think of this cable as being a band, and you would tie it right around here, and then you'd get in the same position, and you could do a kickback with the band. So that's another option here that you could easily do. And I'll create this and put it in my library and have it. I'll actually film it. But there is also a change with the band, and that is as a band shortens, tension on the band increases. So even though the band looks like the cable, the band gets longer as you get shorter, which means the tension is increasing on the band, which gives the band more of the dumbbell's resistance profile, meaning the band gets harder as you get weaker, and that's an opposite resistance profile. This is a matching resistance profile, because as you get weaker, it gets easier. That's optimal so that you can really engage that muscle at its end range. Let's go to our next exercise.